Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 43 of Crystal Knits. You can follow me on Ravelry and Instagram at Crystal Knits. And if you like cozy mysteries, follow me and my friend Manda of Itty Bitty Delights at the Crafty Cozy Mystery Chat on Instagram. So it's been a while since I've been here. I counted how many whips I had. I wanted to do a whip episode, and it was like up to like 43 whips, which is insane. And I was like, how am I going to do an episode with that? And then I kept psyching myself out. So it took me a while to come back here, plus a lot of family problems and sicknesses and everything. So I'm back. Hopefully, I know I keep doing this, that I go for months on end, I don't podcast, but I have a lot to show you. But my goal is to get under 20 whips this year. Of course, what I've done recently did not help it because I have cast on so many things. I've got cast on eye is bad. It's really bad. But I did finish some long-term whips. So my first one is the Anthology Throw by Curious Handmade, Helen Stewart. This thing is glorious. Look at this. Oh my God, these colors. The advent calendar I used was from Yarn Cafe Creations, the Princess Advent Calendar. She has another one. I think I'm going to buy it because I already bought the first 2 years, so I have to get the third year, right? But look at these colors. Oh my God. I just can't. Like this thing's massive. At the end stitch count, I think we were over 1,000 stitches. It was amazing. But what stunk was she went into the mauve at the last colors. And it killed me because of that. I love mauve. So they were very small sections. Like this is literally 1, 2, 3, 4 mauves. Then I ended up using a Woolen Vine yarn I had that I used in my Exploration Station shawl. I'm not sure what the name of the colorway is. I want to say it's Plum Tart. It was like a one-time thing, which was just beautiful because it had all these beautiful mauves in it and some green, and I just fell in love with it. And then it just went really bad. I used the full skein that came with it. It was the Rapunzel colorway, which I think these were all Rapunzel colorways or close to her. So when I put the Plum Tart, I saw how nice it ended up fading into, so I had to use the Rapunzel one. And it was like 50 grams I used. Because in the pattern she originally had it that you just knit one row and then you bound off. I did a full repeat what the other colors did, and then I added those 2 rows. So it was 6 rows of that and it ended up being 50 grams. But it was just so pretty. I had to. I mean, look at that. This thing, everyone's fighting over in my house. It's so beautiful. Such an easy pattern. I highly recommend it. I loved it so much. It was... I don't know. I think I just got busy with other things around Advent. That's why I didn't finish it. But I ended up finishing it by February, I think it was. So, but this thing is beautiful. And I could see me knitting another one. Like, I have her first one. I'm kind of tempted to add that in. Like, to make another one. But I'm like, well, let's see what she comes out with this year. But as I said, that she's coming out with another Princess Advent calendar this year. So I might use that one. I don't know. I loved this pattern. Highly, highly recommend it. The Anthology Throw. Then I finished another blanket, which you're going to laugh at me. This is just a simple blanket. I cast on, I think it was 100 stitches for this blanket. I call it my DenBlanket. And it's from Lion Brand Cover Story. The instructions say use a size 10, I think it is. I use a size 11, right? Yeah, I went up a size to use. And it made a world of difference. It was very tight when I was knitting it because I am actually knitting. I was originally knitting in this. Oh no, I already changed it actually. All right, well, I was originally knitting in this color and it felt very tight. And this colorway is the Emery colorway. I'm not sure what colorway this one is, but I'm glad I changed it. I recast that one on. And this thing is massive. The instruction said 70 stitches. I did 100 stitches. And that's how big it is. But because I did that, it's not very long. So the way I'm using it, because like this is only how long it is. So the way I'm using it is this way for right now. When I find another skein of this, when I bound off, I just sewed in the remaining of the yarn. Luckily, it wasn't that much yarn that remained after I did it. And I can easily pick it out and just attach the other skein. That's what my plan is, so I can get a full-size comforter out of this. And now with this one, I had 2 skeins of this one. So now, as I said, I did 110. I'm a little tempted to rip back again. I know I'm insane, and do 120 stitches, make it really wide, because that, when I was doing the length, I mean, it's like my whole length of my body on that one. So I was trying to do the math by adding 10 extra stitches. Would it be that much shorter? I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to do 20, see how big it would be, but I do like the length of that one. But I'm afraid this is going to be even longer with the 2 blankets. When I did, I think what I did was I folded it in half. And when I folded it in half, the length that is supposed to be, that I knit it in, was longer than when I folded it in half. So it's going to be a longer blanket when you're doing 2 skeins than what that one was. So that's why I ended up 10 more stitches on the sides. But now I'm like, maybe I should have put 20, and maybe it would be a queen size blanket. I don't know. But then I kind of think maybe I need 3 skeins for a queen size. I don't know. I'm playing with this. I'm enjoying it. Let me look at these colors. It's so soft. Like, oh my God. This is the perfect blanket to use when you're outside reading at night, because it's just so cozy, but it's not like you get overheated in it. It's just wonderful. I want to buy more skeins of this and knit so many more of these blankets. And all I'm doing is cast on the 110 stitches and slip the first stitch, purl all the way to the end, turn, slip the first stitch, knit all the way to the end. I'm just keep doing that. It's so thick, it's not turning in on itself or anything. It's perfect. So this is like the best blanket to be knitting this with. Wait, am I using a size 10? No, I'm using a size 13 now. They originally was 11. I thought that was weird. Yeah, so now I'm using a 13. So I can't wait to be finished with this. I just need time to sit there and knit on this one. But once I did sit on it and my hands got used to the thick needle, because I'm not used to knitting with that, it flew off the thing. I think I did it in like a couple of days, honestly, 1 skeins. It was just so fast. All right, this is just a mess. It's like caught in between everything. We're not going there. All right, so let me go to my other FOs. So I was on a obsession with the Justin's cabled hat. I could not stop knitting it. So I think I knit like 8 of them, maybe possibly 9 of them. I was giving them as gifts and everything. But this one is for my husband. It was out of Knit Picks Mighty Stitch. I used a US 6 4mm. And this one's Mighty Stitch Ash. It's colorway. Then I used, sorry, I'm trying to get my notes so I can see. There we go. The Provincial Tweed from Knit Picks in gray. And this one is for my son, Nikki. This one was in Bluebird in the Provincial Tweed. I am obsessed with this. It's so soft. Recommend these yarns so much. The Mighty Stitch, though, the definition, I feel, didn't come out as nicely as the Provincial Tweed. And the hand-dyed yarn, I do have to say, that was much looser knit, it felt like to me. But I just love this pattern. It's so pretty. I'm obsessed with it. And then I also knit a pair of socks that Signature Needleworks has now, the pattern. I will be releasing that pattern on my Ravelry website in a few months. And the original hat they have right now. And now I'm going to be starting working on the cowl soon. So I'm excited about that. Now, as you know, I love knitting dishcloths. And I'm part of the year of dishcloths that the Kitchen Sink Shop comes out with. So I'll show you the first ones I did. Sorry, my thing to pick up my son. My husband's doing it today. So this one's just the granny's favorite blanket. Dishcloth, yeah. See, I'm obsessed with blankets. I can't stop knitting them. That I did. I finished up Sailboat from Knit Picks Dishy. And I just added this color. I think it's the mint colorway. And this is another one I made. I've been giving them out like crazy lately. And it's funny because I knit them when I'm on pickup lines. It's just something easy to do. And everyone keeps wanting them. So I just like, here, finished, take it. So now these are the patterns from Garlene of Kitchen Sink Shop. This is the Biscottie Dishcloth. All her dishcloths this year are food themed, and the patterns are free if you subscribe to her newsletter. Then you can also get them on Ravelry for free until the end of the year, and then she'll start charging for them. And I knit all of them in Knit Picks Dishy, US size 6. Is it 4 mil? Sorry, I'm like blah. Yeah, 4 millimeter needle. So that's the Biscottie one. Oh, and she comes with recipes in the newsletter for each dishcloth. This is the Linzer Tart one. And it's in the Begonia colorway from Dishy. And then this was the July one. That was the February. The Biscottie, I think, was the March. This was, no, not July, January. Oh my God, I need to go to bed. So this one, I don't know how to say this. Speculaas? I don't know. And I'm not, whatever the, I think it's lavender colorway this one is. For some reason I thought I did in Azure. I did not. But this one was really pretty. I probably should have done one more repeat. I don't know. And then I won from her from last year's Year Dishcloth, this little cute bag. And then this is the yarn she uses, which I've never used before. It's called Suds Crafting Cotton. I'm excited to try this out. I think they have this mostly in Canada. They don't have it in the US. So it's something different to use. Very excited. Now, another thing I have been knitting on, that's why you haven't seen me, is I went crazy designing this pattern with a really tight frame. And I don't have it. I sent it to All in Yarns so she could display it at her craft show this week. But here is an unblocked version of it. So it is basically an asymmetrical shawl with color work of Greek keys. So I will show you some of the, and I will be releasing this on June 2nd. She is going to send me some pictures. This was the border of it. There's going to be 2 different borders on it. So the one I originally did was this because I had a really tight time frame, and I kept changing how long I had to do it because I was running out of yarn and everything. And then when I finished, I realized I could have done the original border I wanted to do. So basically just this one would be turned around, so they'll be alternating the 2 different squares. And it actually worked, and I was so mad after I finished it. So I asked her if she wanted to sample to keep and just send me 2 more full skeins. I had enough minis to make another one. So I will be knitting this, and you will see my progress on knitting it again. So, but it came out so beautiful. I was in shock when she showed me the pictures. This is another of the color works. And she had the kits. I think she still has a few kits. So again, it's All in Yarns. The Greek Muse kits. It came with this beautiful bag, coupon for my pattern, and 2 skeins of the white color, and then 12 minis that were all Muse inspired. And then I think a stitch marker too. I'm not sure. So I had that one too. I did. Sorry, it's a little blowing out. But that was like a labor of love. And it was just so beautiful. Do I even have a picture of it? How she had it on display? It was, oh my gosh. No, I don't have the picture. Let me see if I can find it on her thing. Oh, wait. You know what? I was tagged in it. Wait. Yeah. I was tagged in it. Wait. I usually don't do this, but it was really, really cool. Let's see. Look how pretty it looked. And then in the background, you can see my Day of Wine and Roses shawl that I did. She's sending me that one back. So that was really cool. Oh, that's the kits too. So go check them out. I think she has 3 left, possibly. I don't know. But it's a really beautiful kit. It was a lot of fun to knit. Very excited. A little time consuming because there's a lot of math involved in designing it. But I loved it. And I will be knitting again. So you can tell I liked it by doing that. And also it was interesting knitting color work in the flat. Because I said I just got into color work. And to have to do it like that was very interesting process of learning how to do it. And I did it, and it was amazing. So highly recommend it. Then another thing I'm knitting a second time is my Reflecting Pool shawl. I originally designed this for Signature Needle Arts. And what happened was they liked it so much, one of the girls wanted it. So she asked me if she could buy, and I said, just send me the yarn so I can knit it again. I'll be happy to give it to you. So this is the shawl. It's all in, who is this? Malabrigo yarn. The last color, let me see if I have the tags so I can know what colors these are. So the first color, all right, so it's Malabrigo yarn on Dos Tierras yarn. I think these are the actual colorways. So this one is Reflecting Pool. This one I want to say is, whatever that is, Canny. Again, I'm horrible at pronouncing things. Yeah, and this one is the Azul Profundo. This beautiful blue. But that's how far I got in this one. I'm actually almost done. I just have to do a fade in the darker color, which is Paris Nights, which is this one, which is a lot darker. And then I just got to add in this on the very border. And it's in my Katie's bag. And I am using, what size needle are you? Can't even see you. I think this is a US 8. Yes, US 8 5mm. And this is my, I got the set. I was so excited. My husband surprised me with that and a small set of, I don't remember the name of the yarn. 2 different needle sets, because we had a joke going on in the house. It's every time he would do something, I'd be like, yeah, where's my purple needles? You know, it was like running like, I'm like, where's my purple needles? You're gonna get me something, where's the purple needles? So this was the Jador needle set from Knitter's Pride. They're purple cubed needles. Look how beautiful that is. And then it has a gold tip and then a wired cord. It is the most gorgeous set. And working with these, it's just such, like, I've never knit with cube needles before, but this wood is so, like, sturdy. Like, I know a lot of people like light knitting needles, but these are a little bit heftier, and I'm really enjoying knitting with them. And I like the feel of it when the needles click and the sound of it. It's very nice to use. It's got a very smooth finish on them. I highly recommend if you could find them. They are very hard to find. And that's why I got these. And he kept saying he wanted to give me pink needles. And it was Luca, the pink, shorty pink ones I got for hats. I was knitting so many hats. I do want to get a larger set of that, or maybe in the blue. Either the pink or the blue, I want to get that. But this set I love. I don't know where I put the needles, actually. Everything's all thrown lately. But next time I'll show you them. But it just came like, it's a beautiful set. It came like this purple clutch. The pink insert had the needles in it. It was just so beautiful. And I just can't get over this color. This is like so pretty. I want to like savor these needles. That's how much I love them. So I got that. Okay. Now I will show you my socks. I have decided to do the Desert Vista Dye Works year-long knit along, because I had a lot of skeins, but I did not know that you had to use for the heel, cuffs, and toes her yarn. So I had a lot, and I ordered a few more skeins. It's a good thing I did, because I did not know that the other ones were not going to count. Because I have to have, with self-striping socks, a coordinating color. I just can't just knit the thing. I don't know. I'm OCD. I got issues. I admit it. So I'm doing the year-long of socks. So the first one I'm going to show you is a new design. It does not count as part of the year-long of socks, but the color that I have left over, I am going to use for this month, because I have not cast it on, and I'm just going to do a simple vanilla sock. Maybe I'll do a couple slip stitches every time you change the color around. I don't know, but I'm just going to knit it really quick, and I already have a color with a pattern, so I don't need to worry about it. And I'm going to be releasing this soon. I got to see how fast my my test knitters can knit it. It is called the Camping Trail Sock. Basically, I used 30 grams of the self-striping yarn. So this is good if you have a lot of scraps left over from patterns. And then I think it was like 50 or 60 grams of the main color, which is Sweet Sparrow Yarns Peach Fizz. So this will be coming out. Yeah, so you see it. Sorry, it's not very on there very well. I have to take pictures of this. And let me take this off. And so I can show you what it looks like flat. So funny story about this one. I started knitting this last year during sock camp. And I wanted to release it this year. I ran out of time. I just realized sock camp is starting next week. So I went crazy getting testers. I've had this like in my repertoire for how long? For a year now. And I never got anyone to knit it. I didn't finish writing the pattern or anything. So I finished the sock in time. And I'm seeing my test knitters can release it in time. We will find out if they get it done or not. But it is a fun, quick knit. You can't wait to go to the next stripe. And it's something different because you're using the self-striping with a main color. So it breaks up the stripes and it's kind of like a nice little technique. You can also do 2 main colors if you want. Or if you want to do scraps, you could do that. Like change it with the main color going throughout. So there's a lot of possibilities. Mandy Making has a share a pair. That would be great with this. So this pattern has all the possibilities. It's such a simple thing to knit. And you can use a lot of scrapped yarn. As I said, 30 grams for my size. I'm a size 8. And I use a 56 stitch count. So I recommend it. Hopefully it will be out soon. I'm thinking either next week or the week after June 2nd, whatever that is. So we will see. All right. So now my, let's start with January sock, shall we? All my socks are on 56 stitches and a US 3.25 millimeter. So this is the Minor Zombody sock from the Scooby-Doo collection. I love Scooby-Doo. I'm obsessed with it. Don't ask. So obsessed. So I got that one. And I just did a plain vanilla socks. I decided last minute I was going to knit to join this. I don't know why I decided to join this, but I'm trying. I don't know if I'm going to make it the whole year because it's a little bit like, okay, we got to knit these socks. And I have so much other stuff I have to get off the needles because I'm crazy. But I'm getting through stash, which is great because I'm having problems like, where am I putting all the stuff? I'm not buying anything, but I got to get rid of some yarn. So this is a great way to get rid of stash. So that's that one. Now my next one was the February sock. And it was knit with her Milk and Cookies colorway. And I did buy coordinating skeins from her for all these, thank God. And the pattern on here was, which of my patterns was this one? Did I write down which one it was? I'm so blank. Oh, the Jeepers colorway, that's why. Oh yeah, that's why, okay. Sorry. Yeah, that makes sense to me now. Yeah. That's the Jeepers pattern, which is my Daphne-inspired pattern for Scooby-Doo. And it just has this beautiful thing going on the side over here. That makes sense why I couldn't figure out what it was. I'm like thinking it's in the middle. I'm like, I didn't make anything in the middle. It's on the side. That's why. So, that one. Now, the next one is the March sock. I have knit a lot of socks. This is my Breakfast in Bed pattern, which looks amazing on self-stripe. All these look great on self-striping, but this one I really, really love. And it's on the Wang Fine Art Seashell colorway, which, oh my God, look at this colorway. It's gorgeous. And I actually have enough of this teal left over to go with a green one, which I was originally going to do in May, but I ran out of time. So that might be my June sock now. But I was so excited I had enough left over. And oh my, this one's my favorite. It really is my favorite. I'm just in love with this. And here's the other one. Okay. And now my last sock to be knit on this. I know. I'm doing good though. I got most of it. I just got to get one more. Okay. These are called Core's Natural Splendor. And apparently I liked this colorway so much, I bought it twice. So this one is I think it's the Zen. It's the sparkly. And a few years ago, I bought it in her Fino, I think it was. Or whatever her plain sock one was. I'm in love with this colorway. I did not realize I bought it twice. So, but the good thing is the, I think she had a raspberry for the other one as my coordinating color. And that one's not sparkly, so. And this one is Waiting for Spring pattern. And you can see it. Let me show that one, because that one is on, that's why I was getting confused between that and the Jeepers. You can see it. Okay, and that is it for the socks. Now, all right, this is in a Katie's bag. And basically me and Katie, she was talking to me about knitting a hat. And I was kind of curious about it. And I was like, let's both knit it. So the yarn I found in my stash was Knit Picks DK City Tweed in the Morning Glory colorway. I only had 2 skeins. I needed a 3rd skein for this. And the hat is called the Weekender Hat by Petite Knits. All right, so basically, I folded it over. I knit this much. And then it's funny because she said double knitting. Double knitting to me is when you hold 2 things of yarn. So like I would knit, like fold this over and knit this together. And I could not get past. I'm like, that's not, what are you talking about? That's not it. And I'm like, you do it 3 times? Like, what are you talking about? I don't understand this. And I was like I was reading this. Usually I don't read the pattern beforehand. But I think I just wanted to see what was the difference of making this as opposed to something else. And I'm reading it. I'm like, I'm not understanding this. And I'm texting. And my friend Katie still is like, I don't understand that either. Once you do it, it makes sense. It's just a thing she does, not what we do as a double knitting. So you hold it together and you knit them together. It's a certain method she used. So you did it twice and then you fold it over and it makes it just, it folds right in place all the time. So then you fold it over again. So now I'm at the brim. But as I said, I only have this much left. So I'm really thinking I don't have enough yarn. I have to order one more skein. Very upset about that. But I'm knitting it on a US 4 3.5 millimeter on my signature needle arts. But I was enjoying knitting this. I was really upset I ran out of the yarn. But with Knit Picks, if I'm going to order yarn, I want to do a big order. I just don't have the money for it right now. So this is going to be a timeout for a while till I can afford to buy something from them. Because I want to get my free shipping. And I'd rather get more yarn for my money than pay for shipping. That's how I am. I got issues. I know. The next thing, this one is a labor of love. It's in my Molly Klein design bag. It is the Bloom Your Heart Out shawl. It is an intense lace shawl. I think this is my New Year's Eve cast on. It is so intense, this lace. Now, you know me. I can knit lace all night, all day long. I find it easier than knitting a lot of straightforward things. This one is intense. It really is. There's a lot of, like, you can't see it, but it's a lot of intricate detail. And the pattern changes constantly and then increasing. It's a lot. It looks like it's the same thing over and over again. I mean, well, it is the same pattern over, but it's really detailed in this. It's so beautiful. So again, this is La Bien Amie in the cashmere yarn. All right, so this one is parchment. Really? Tiramisu? That doesn't sound right. That does not sound right at all. Wait. My tablet likes to sometimes change things on me, which is really annoying. When you type something in. I don't know if you guys do. I know my phone especially. I'm always hitting the wrong. What? It's Damask. And it says tiramisu. How do you get Damask out of tiramisu? Samsung. What are you doing? I don't know. But yes, this is Damask. And then the colorway you add into the middle is pink granite. It's like this mauve. I saw this. I fell in love with this pattern. I had to knit it. And again, it did something with the person. I know her last name's Sang. Let me look it up. I am so sorry. I'm using my phone a lot. My thing is evil. All I gotta say about the matter. Where are you? Yeah, that's not right. Bad Samsung. Inese, Inese Sang. So Anessa Sang? Nisa Sang? I don't know. But her patterns are gorgeous. Bloom your heart out. And I'm going to say it's going to take me the rest of the year to knit this. Honestly, I got to have my brain in. And as I said, even just like doing the repeats, like this is how big the repeats are for it. And then I just put a progress key. I think I have to do this 9 times. It's intense. It is seriously intense. And you have to be thinking and just go with it. And I'm using a US 3.25 millimeter in Signature Needle Arts. Cannot wait to have this one done. But again, it's going to take me all year long. And I'm using I love these stitch markers. I got to write down who does them. They're so beautiful. They got these pearls. Everything in this project is just love. Like Signature Needle Arts, can't go wrong with the needles. These stitch markers, the yarn is so soft. The Cashmere from La Bien-Aimée. I mean, the colors, it's everything just sings to my heart. But I just got to have time and concentration to knit this one. Hopefully I will get it done. Oh my God, I love it. I was working on this solely on Sundays. I'm like picking projects I knit on certain days. It's like crazy. So this is like my Sunday when I just want to relax. And I probably won't be able to knit on this again until after baseball's over. Because baseball has taken over my life. I'm not a sports person. I love that my son... My youngest son's into sports. My older son was not until we were forcing him to do it because I said, I don't want you to regret something. And then he finally hit his first ball and now he's obsessed. So now this might be my life every spring, baseball. And my husband's talking about fall. I'm like, oh dear Lord. Because I just got to have easy knits during this time because you're constantly running around with these sports. And they're not even high school. I don't even want to know what's going to happen when they go to high school. I don't want to deal with it. That's my whole thing. My next thing is in Stolen Mittens bag. And this is just a fun, I cast this on because of I needed to knit something in a movie theater when we went to see Dungeons and Dragons. FYI, Chris Pine knits in Dungeons and Dragons, people. I know, Chris Pine. And the guy that plays the Duke from Bridgerton in it. It was just like, oh yeah, that was the movie. I'm telling you, watch it. It's hot, guys. That's all I got to say about the matter with that. And there's knitting. You can't go wrong with that movie. But I wanted to knit in the movie theater, so I did all this in it. And my friend Ashley gifted me this. I was so excited. I never used Opal yarn before. So she said she had a skein, and she gave it to me. And it is the Beauty Mint Edelweiss Eric and Vitamin E. Again, I don't think you get this in America. I've never used Opal before. And it's like it makes like its own pattern. I guess it's like our Regedia. I never used that one either. I've never used this type of yarn, but it's so pretty. And then this is all in yarns. Her Sucra colorway, I think it is possibly. And I don't know whose Progress Keeper that one is, but this is as far as I got in the movie theater. Again, US 1.5. Just knitting a vanilla sock when I go out. Don't have to think. And this was left over from my what was it? Day of Wine and Roses shawl. So I had this left over. I was like, it looks beautiful. It actually matches crazy perfect. Like, look at that. How crazy is that? So I had to put it with it. Maybe Sugar Tots. I think that's what did that. Sugar Tots, possibly. I don't know. And it's Chaigu needles I'm using as well. So that one is, I just love this bag. Look how cute that is. All right. So my next thing is I knit some more on my Gingerbread Advent shawl, the tweed version, in my Jolie Co bag. And I think the last time you saw it, I was down here and I knit all this. I am using various colors in Stroll Tweed. I have no idea what they are at this point. There's so many colorways here. And I know I'm missing one tag. Okay, let's see. I love Stroll Tweed. It is so soft. So North Sea Heather, I want to say is that one. Atlantis Heather, I want to say is that one. It's that bluish one. I have no idea what that came from. Flagstone Heather is definitely the gray. Do you have anything else? Here's one more. Marine Heather. Oh, bloody hell. I don't know. Well, it's in here somewhere. I don't know. Next episode, I'll have it figured out. It would be nice if I was done with this so I could wear it. Well, now it's a little warm for this, but this goes so well with my winter jacket. And it's my pattern that I have designed for this year's Advent. It's a three-section shawl and 24 different stitch patterns in it. And I'm loving it in the tweed, and it's just, the whole thing's cohesive right now. It's so pretty in these 6 colors I'm rotating. I'm not doing an Advent calendar with this one. I just love it. And this is from Simply Serving. And I'm knitting it on a US 5, 3.75 millimeter needle. I want to say this is from Knit Picks, their aluminum set that's in colors. I forgot what the name of it was. It's got a very nice point. I like this point a lot. I was very impressed with that. I think they have nicer points than Nearest Pride. I do. But I enjoy knitting this a lot. I just got to have time to just sit there and do something that I can think on. And I keep I feel like when I'm thinking about things, I should be designing. So I already designed this, so I don't know why I wanted to knit this second time. And then when I can't think, I just want to do plain, easy stockinette. That's what's been happening lately. Another labor of love is another Katydid bag, which I am so in love with. It's dark grays, and it has little bats in it. It was like a Halloween thing and mauve flowers. And the yarn is AJHC Wools. And the colorway is from her Mythical Gods collection, Sands, but without the speckles. I got it. So I'm doing this for Signature Needle Arts. And this pattern is definitely a labor of love. I have to write down every single line for this one, but it is so pretty. It has cables going off the side and the middle, and then a beautiful textured pattern with a little lace. And that's from Itty Bitty Delights. So I am in love with this. It's her DK, and it is knit on a US 8 5.0 Signature Needle Arts. Again, their tips, amazing for lace. I love those. And I have 3 skeins right now. I'm in debate on doing an applied border, because every time I do applied border, it eats up the yarn like crazy. And I'm thinking it might be too much, because this pattern is just so beautiful on its own. So we'll see what I do for the ending of this. But this just keeps going on and on and on. So I'm very excited about that. I love this color. Alright, so that's that one. Now, what else do we got? Oh, I did something very, very stupid. You're going to laugh at me. I finished my Like a Cloud. It says in the directions it will grow 2 inches. I stopped 2 inches early. It grew like 6 inches. I was like, seriously? I was so mad, and I'm short as it is, so it got so long on me. And I figured out a great way to do the decrease. I didn't do the decrease the way she did, because over here I just kept it straight, and then down here I was doing the decreases. But because it grew so much where I did the decreases, I had to take out. So basically I'm just at where I was starting the decreases. So I'm going to do the cuff there. I don't know what I'm going to do. I feel like I should not have ripped back now, because now I'm just very frustrated. I went down to a size, what did I do? I knit the sleeve normal in the size 4. Then when I got to the decreasation, I went down to a size 3. And then I did the cuff at a 2.5. But now, because I'm ripped back, I'm doing the cuff at a 0 US 0. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm insane. It's out of control. I think I did something stupid by ripping this apart. I really do. But, oh, and I have my Knit Picks Everyday Tote. I just threw it in there. I've been using this as just everything. I love this bag. And look at the Purity Skein. It's in the raisin colorway that they just came out with. I love this bag for just carrying around, going to knit nights and everything. But I don't know. I don't think I should have done it. So this is where I am. I put the needle in. I just left it. I did not knit the thing yet. I don't know. I don't know if I should have done that. It was done. I was wearing it with the strings on the sleeves, people. I'm just stupid. That's what I am. I kept saying I wanted it to fit me perfectly. I loved it so much for like, that's how much I'm taking out. So I went down to that. And then I'm going to knit the cuff right here. So it's like, I don't know. I think the cuff was like 3 inches I did. I'm going to get rid of 3 inches or 4 inches, something like that. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm doing. But it was done. It was beautiful. It's so, so comfy. I highly recommend the pattern. Just watch out with the sleeves because they grow like you would not believe. But the yarn I used was so snuggly and warm. I loved wearing it. Like I was wearing it with the strings. I just kept tucking them in. It was getting annoying because there was a lot of strings because I used a whole skein for the arm, and just at the very end I had to put the next skein. So there was multiple strings hanging out over there. I think I had 3 strings, so it was getting annoying, and that's why I decided to rip back. But I used Knit Picks Twill Fingering colorway, the Rosewater Heather. I loved it. I knit it in a US 5 3.5 millimeter. So now I'm going to do the cuff in a 0. I don't know. We will see. Maybe it's not that big a deal if I have to rip back again because I already did it. But yeah, I'll show you what it looks like on. Even though I did this fiasco because I'm sploostad. See, so like that's what it looked like. You know, if I put it on a little bit, it was fun. Like if I just pulled it over here, but I like that. Just like see how nice it looks there, like that. So I want to just do the cuff. Like probably the cuff would go up to here then. I don't know. It's not that bad. And then I was like, oh, let me just knit straight and then just do like a rapid decrease. But the problem is then the cuff won't line up with the pattern. That's what the big problem was. So I figured out this great way to decrease. I wrote it down in my notes on the pattern. It was great. And now I'm like, ugh. And I don't know if I really want to. I could, because like, look, it's big on me here. I could just really rip back, re-knit, and reblock just the arms. But I don't know if I want to do that. Oh, I guess it's not that big a deal if it's a big cuff, right? And again, I'm doing 0 now. I don't know. I'm going back and forth. I don't know what to do with this. But so cozy. Like, I have some black pearl in Narwhal base that Kristen from Vollenvine Yarn. I've had this for years. I love that colorway. I'm tempted to cast this on again. And I only have 4 skeins of it. That's the only thing. And 1 skein doesn't really match. And I don't know if I would want to alternate skeins with the texture. But, I mean, I guess I could. I don't know. I kind of want to knit it in that color because it's beautiful. It's like grays and purples. And it would be nice to have just a plain, cozy black sweater. A grayish black sweater. I don't know. I don't know. But, oh, it's so soft. I'm so mad at myself. I'm insane. It does feel better, the sleeve on this side, even with the needle on it. So maybe I'm just going to see what happens. We'll see next time. I need time to think and just sit there and be like, okay, I'm doing this. And after I ripped out, I was just like, what did I do? Am I stupid? Like, but I want it to fit me the way I want it to fit me. I want it to be comfy. I'm going to do all that work. Like, if I want a sweater that doesn't fit me right, I'd go buy one. Like, you're knitting it, you want it to fit you. And have the right length and the right, how long it is on the body and the sleeves to fit perfectly. And I do this a lot, my sleeves. So it would be nice to have it that I don't have to do it. Like usually when I knit a sweater, I'll usually stop here, not here, because I always pull them up. So if I stop there, it's a good length for me. I don't know. We will see. Okay, so we did that. This is another sweater I cast on. I'm in a sweater mood. This is from Lila Styles Me, the Audrey Hepburn bag. And it's the Stillness Drop sweater by Alicia Plummer. I used a US 6 needle, 4mm for the ribbing, and then US 8, 5mm for the actual sweater. Right now, this is a bottom-up construction. So all you had to do is stockinette. I am at the point where you're going to divide for the back and the front, and that's when the texture pattern comes in. And I just stopped knitting it. I knit this so fast, and then I just stopped because I was like, yeah, now I got to think. I've just been looking for things that you don't have to think with. And then I've used Knit Picks and the Majestic wood needles. Love these. They have a great tip too. And what is this color? Okay, this is Malabrigo yarn, Rio Space in the Lila colorway. I got this at Pick Up Every Stitch, and it is so pretty. I'm not going to be able to wear this to September, so I'm not really in a rush to finish this. But I am loving knitting on this. It is very cozy, this yarn, and it makes me happy. And it's got this really, I think it's the flex stitch on the top that goes over here. That's what I think. It looks like that. Again, I didn't really look at the pattern too much, but that's what, and it's just a simple sleeve, and I think I might just do a rapid decrease at the end so I don't have to think. That's my goal right now. Don't think on anything. Thinking is bad. All right, where is this other one? Where'd it go? I am so excited to show you this because I am almost done. Oh, there it is. This I've been bringing to baseball with me. I'm almost done with it. So this is Robin Seams bag, and Wool and Vine yarns in the Courtesan colorway and Deep Calm. This is the Blackwater sweater by, where are you? Jennifer Steinglass. It is a beautiful thing. So last time you saw me, yes, I did a lot. I was right here. Finished the body. Made the sleeve. And now I'm on the second sleeve. And I'm doing semi-rapid decrease. Basically what I'm doing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I knit for 50 rounds. And then after that, I did a decrease every 4 rounds. So I did that 3 times, and then I did the rest as a rapid decrease. So it's a little bit of a puff, not too big a one, which worked out fabulous. It fits me perfectly. I do want to look at how, I feel like I should, because when I see the body again, when I block it, it will go bigger. But I do want to see how it looks like in a mirror, if I should have made it longer, but I'm happy with it being short. Too. I want to see what it looks like. Let me see. Because when I saw the sleeve, I'm like, wow, that might be too short. I shouldn't probably knit it longer. But I think I did for almost the length that they told me to do it for. And I do have another skein over there. I used 4 skeins for the Courtesan. Do I have the thing here? Oh, you can't read it probably. Sorry, it's on the top of my head. Yeah, you can't see it. Courtesan, I think it is. Courtesan. I am so bad at pronouncing things. Sorry, Kristen, but Wool and Vine. And it's her footsie base. It's a nice sturdy yarn. And because I have another skein left, I could do a sock design with that, which I'm very excited about. And I just love this pinkish colorway. It's like a pinkish brown and goes so well with the teal. They were made for each other. I was so excited when I got 1 skein of that teal to go with this. I knew it had to be a colorwork sweater. And I am knitting it on, what is this one on? US 4 3.5mm and a US for the ribbing, and US 5 3.7mm for the sleeves. So, and I think, when I do the sleeves, I do this 12-inch Chaigu needles. I've actually almost got the whole set because I've been doing so many sweaters lately. I think I need to get some for the Stillness Drop for that size. But I've gotten so many of them lately that it's almost a whole set of them. But I definitely recommend these for knitting the sleeves. It's so much easier than magic loop, and you don't have to worry about that little line sometimes that happens when you knit the sleeves. I know DPNs definitely used to get a line, but and you don't have to fiddle or anything. It fits. It's just perfect for this. You just gotta get used to the little needles. It's not as bad as the US knot. I mean the 9-inch one. So if you use that for socks and you went crazy with it, this has more of a needle you could put your hand on, and it's got like a nice bent thing. So I got really excited when Alana knits, she said that she used that, and I was like curious about it. So I bought it one time and I've loved it. I've been knitting all my sleeves with that ever since. And I said I've got almost a full set now. That's how much I've used them. And I'm on a complete obsessive sweater kick, if you haven't noticed here. In fact, I am so obsessed with knitting sweaters, I am trying my hand at designing one. It's a very simple, it's a tee. This is in my utterly adorable bag with little pandas, my favorite pandas. But I am trying, it's called a Touch of Lace tee. I'm using Artistic Lily yarn. When she stopped dyeing yarn, I bought so much of it. I bought 2 skeins in the Tea and Crumpets colorway. And then I bought 1 skein in this. Ah, you've disappeared. Did you fall off? Is this part of that? Oh, Frog Belly. But I have another Frog Belly over there. It's much more yellow. So I'm kind of thinking something happened with this skein, and either it got mislabeled or she dyed it right after she did the Crumpets colorway, because it looks pretty dang close. Like, so I'm thinking this might be labeled. I'm alternating yarns, and I'm using the helical knitting thing. So I'm going to eventually get rid of one of these and then add this in. But if it looks like it matches, I might not write it into the pattern. If it doesn't look like it matches, I might write it in that I'm fading down to another color in the last section of the sweater. But I think it's the same color, because if I'm looking at the other one that I bought that was a sock set, and that's more yellow. This one, it looks like it matches. So I think I just got lucky and I got 3 skeins of this one, which is perfect, because that's why I liked it. When I was seeing, I was like, oh my God, this came out so pretty. This is my Touch of Lace. I literally just sectioned off for the sleeves. So you got a little lace there. I'm going to have lace on the cuffs and on the bottom. And I'm knitting it on a US 7 4.5 millimeter, and the ribbing was US 5 3.7 millimeter. I'm using my Knitter's Pride carbons. I love these. Again, these have a really nice tint, and I love how they what it's made out of. They said they use it on spaceships, which I love. But it just has a nice little, I love that sound. So when they hit each other, and the points, honestly, this has the best points out of all the Knitter's Pride needles. Let me tell you, they are amazing. I love knitting socks with these too. So that is my first sweater design. I'm super excited. I hope it comes out right. Again, I just started really getting into sweater knitting, so it's kind of like a leap to be knitting a sweater. But again, that's why I started with a t-shirt, because t-shirts seem easier. Plus, I don't have any, so I'm excited about that one. And my last thing, I want to say is my last thing. No, I've got 2 more things. Okay. So this one is in my Rowan Seams bag. And, alright, so what I'm doing with this, it's part of a bigger project. But people seem to have loved this so much, I'm doing this as a separate pattern. So there's going to be 2 patterns. So right now we got the cowl that I'm making. And I'm going to keep a secret what I'm going to do with this. But, so this is a cowl. And this is in worsted weight yarn. In Knit Picks, I had the yarn around here. It's missing because I had to move over. And when I had to move over, oh, there's another sock. Yay! Got one more thing, actually. I don't know where this yarn is. I don't even know what the yarn is I have on this. Ah, I'm so sorry. Oh, wait. Here it is. Okay. It's in the Brava worsted weight yarn. And the colorway is Cerebrium. It's this beautiful kind of mauve-y purplish color. With a little tint of pink in it. I like a dusty rose. No, dusty lilac, I would say maybe. Kind of grayish. It's beautiful. So this is what the cowl is going to look like. Very simple lace going on. I am going to knit in DK as well, using City Tweed in the Cobalt colorway. And then I'm also going to include a fingerling version, what weight you need, what needles you need, how many to cast on. It's the same pattern for all three. So I'm going to do that. And then this is going to bloom into something much bigger, which I'm very excited about. And you will see my progress. I think I'm just going to talk about it here and not on Instagram, because I'm very excited about this. It's a very interesting idea, and it's very practical what I'm using this for. I got your interest piqued, don't I? But I'm excited about this. It has to do with reading. You're like, what? What? I know. But this is going to be something I'm going to use constantly, and I'm excited about. So the worsted weight, again, I'm using the carbon needles. US 9 I'm using. I don't know what the millimeter is. I can't read these. These are very hard to read. But I'm having a lot of fun knitting that. So that's going to be about a long cowl. And then my last sock, I'm so sorry. Oh my God. I've been so upset if I forgot to show this one. This is a test knit I did for my friend Lauren of Bee in the Bonnet. And FYI, if you guys love Victorian stuff, flowers, tea, everything just beautiful and picturesque, go follow her account. It's just beautiful, her photography. And she has a blog, and she helps like with a lot of stuff. So this is her Grumpy Sunshine Socks. And I knit with it in Knit Picks Tweed, Stroll Tweed in the Oyster colorway and North Pole Heather. So I had a lot of fun. This I was doing during baseball, and I have something to tell you. Do not knit a second sock while you're at a sporting event, because without the first sock with you, because you will do something stupid. Because I did something stupid. I knit an extra repeat on this. So I literally got down to the toe, and I had to rip back all the way up to here. So I had to rip back all the sock to make it match the first one. I was so mad. So I would have had 3 socks done if I would have just left it. Yeah. And I had to get it done for the test knit. So I was like, I'm just going to re-knit it. I'm going to rip back and re-knit that part. I should have probably just knit a third one. Just had 4 of these going around. But oh well. But it's such a pretty pattern. I loved it. And it was really easy to memorize. And it was good to knit at baseball games. Of course, if you're doing this, make sure you have the first sock. Yeah, that was very dumb of me. All right. And then this is literally my last thing. So I have a lot of crocheted whips. And I don't really crochet that much. I used to crochet all the time. I don't crochet that much anymore. I start something, I get really excited, especially blankets. And then I stop. And then I go into something else. And my friend Kristen has been like really into crocheting. She's been inspired me to go back into it. Plus, I need to get rid of some of these blanket whips because I want to knit other blankets. Because I'm obsessed with blankets. So it's in, again, a Knit Picks bag, the Everyday Tote in silver. And this is from Mary Maximum. I don't know who the designer is for this because I lost the actual pattern. And it was like all wrinkled when I found it. And I basically just was able to make out what it says, and I figured it out. Like I could not read it well, and what I figured out, it's working. So I'm saying I got the right pattern. I don't know, and I retyped down my computer. So this is the Fanfair Throw from Mary Maximum, and I did quite a lot recently. I did that much. Remember, I'm working as a box, so it doesn't look like that much, but you're going all the way around with this one. So it is a lot. And I am using, do I even have the yarn? Mary Maximum Prism in the Irish colorway. Iris, not Iris. Okay. And I don't, where's the hook? Oh, don't tell me I lost the hook. That is the one thing I don't like about crochet. I always lose the bloody hooks. Oh, here it is. This bag is good because it has a little pocket, and that's where I've been throwing the hook. So I'm using hook size 7.5 millimeter tulip needles in the pink. I love these for crocheting. But I love knitting this. I've been trying to say Thursdays is my day for crochet. Unfortunately, I had to get that shawl out. I stopped doing it. So now next week, I think I'm going to pick up and start crocheting on Thursdays. Because I have this. I have a crocheted bag. I have crocheted boots. My friend Ashley. Ashley, please help me with them. Because I don't know how to sew crochet together. And I have to attach a cuff to it. So I basically just have to finish crocheting a cuff and two straps. And the thing is done. This thing has been on the hook since 2018, I think. It's slippers. The pattern was not written well and everything, so I had a hard time figuring out how to do it. So crochet is not exact like knitting, so it's hard to figure out where you're supposed to do the decreases and where it's supposed to go and everything. I did it. I got the boot done. Now I just got to do the cuff and the strap, and then the hard part is me trying to figure out how to sew it. So actually, I need your help on sewing that together. So hopefully those three things will be done. Plus, I have a couple more crocheted blankets. I'm horribly notorious at starting crocheted blankets and stopping. So this one hopefully will be done soon. And it is so beautiful though. It is gorgeous. I'm loving this. So I can't wait to actually have this so I can use it. And then I got a blue one from the same yarn. That again is from Mary Maximum. And then I got this one from Annie's. It's a big long crocheted blanket I want to do. So that is all the knitting content. Wow. Yeah. So. All right. Now I'm just going to talk a couple of cozy mysteries. I'm not going to go crazy talking about them because I know we're already at an hour. Sorry. But, all right. So one book I've read is Caught on the Books by Laura Gale Black. I love this series. It is the Antiques Bookshop Mysteries. Highly recommend it. Actually, a lot of the books I've read this year were all fabulous. I think I've only like 2 I wasn't that crazy about. But I really enjoyed this one, and it was a little different than the original series. Was the first 3 in the series. She comes home after being wrongly incarcerated to her uncle's house, and she finds him murdered. And then she, again, has to find the murderer and everything. And she ends up inheriting this bookshop in this town where they make it all like old style London. And they wear period costumes in the hotel and everything. So it's a really sweet town. She ends up becoming best friends with her uncle's ex-girlfriend. And it's a very fun story. This one was more centered on her relationship with her boyfriend. And it was away from the bookstore, away from the town. She was doing a festival. So it's a little different, and I really enjoyed it. And look how pretty that cover is. Then another book, the book I'm reading right now, which is, again, one of my favorite series of all time, is the Key West Food Critic series by Lucy Burnett. And it's A Dish to Die For. This is the second to last one in the series. I recommend this series so much. This one I'm a little having a hard time getting into it because it's basically set during when the pandemic started. So it's a little bit of a different tone. The one before this was really good too. I wonder if I have a picture of it here. Because I just read that one recently too. No, I did not have a picture of it here. No, I don't. But that one was set during, she went on her honeymoon to Scotland. And that was cool, even though they weren't in Key West. It still had that fun flair. Miss Gloria went with her, which is her older friend that she takes care of. And it was just funny. And you learned a lot about Scotland in that book. Let me see what the name of the book was. Oh, I'm so sorry. But that series is great. But I found out they have a wheel a scone of contention. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if it's put like that. And it's really interesting. There's this, all right, so you're on a boat and you're going down like a Nile type thing. And then it's, I guess there's like 100-foot drop to the bottom. So they got a big Ferris wheel basically. And you go into it and it stores the boat. And then the water kind of comes out and it goes down. And then another boat goes up and they switch places. I can't even fathom how they do this. And they have this in Scotland. It was a big thing. I was researching the whole thing. So I was like fascinated by this. And there's a lot of stuff like food that they had that I've never heard of that they had in Scotland. It was really, really interesting, cram-packed with facts. So if you want to learn about Scotland, I highly recommend that book. I was just like, wow, like she really does her research on these books. And like I've read some things that people have written. Like I had a knitting one that she did not. She knew nothing about knitting. I was like she had said you had a harness to knit with. I was like, what? So like this, she really, really like did this research, and it was so interesting. And then it got me interested. And I had my phone with me, and I was like doing all like really just going more into detail on everything. And then, so I'm reading that one right now. And then I just finished our book club read for my for the Crafty Cozy Mystery Book Club that I run with my friend Manda. And we were doing Elementary She Read. I wasn't crazy about the main character in this, I have to say that. It's by Vicky Delaney. I love her other book, the Tea book that she has. But I couldn't get into the character. She was very like, I know everything and I have no patience for you. You know, she was trying to emulate Sherlock. But it was just, it was very off-putting to read. I will read the rest of the series. It wasn't one of my favorites, but I did enjoy it overall. I gave it like 3 stars. Usually a lot of the books I've been doing lately is 5 stars or 4 stars. And another new series, I'll just do 2 more series. A Brush with Murder by Bailey Abbott. This was the book read for the Cozy Mystery Book Club, which I joined. I love it. Angela runs it. It is amazing. Go check her out on Instagram. I have a link down there. She does a live stream on the last Tuesday every month. This month's book is by my favorite cozy mystery author, Krista Davis. It's her Paws and Claws series. I think I'm on like the 7th book in that. No, maybe not the 7th. Maybe the 5th. Either 5th, 6th, or 7th. I'm on that one, on the series. I'm kind of tempted to reread the first one because it's been so many years since I've read it. I love the series. They're in a hotel and it's all catered to pets, and she has this German grandmother, which I'm a little bit German, so I was like, I never really got into that part of my heritage, so it's interesting to learn stuff about German, like food, cuisine, and everything from it. And I just want to move into this town. It's in Virginia. All her books are set in Virginia. And it's got this great, what do you call it, like town that just all in the mountains. It's all about bringing your dogs on vacation, and everything is catered to the dogs and cats. It's a lovely fantasy. I wish to God they had that in real life because it just sounds amazing. And I highly recommend that one. And then this last month's was A Brush with Murder by Bailey Abbott. I'll talk more about the other one next month. But so the first one was that one, and the second one, because I got it on NetGalley, was Kill Them with Canvas. I can get it. Sorry if I'm getting anyone nauseous. Sorry about that. That was a lot of fun. In fact, I told my knit group I want to do a paint and sip and paint event because it was really interesting learning about this. I don't know how the store stays open though, because they do only events. And I know like you can go into any paint and canvas thing and paint and sip thing and be like, okay, they have it this time, and you can just go in. Like it sounded like they did more parties than they did that you could just walk in and do it. So I don't know how that one stays in business, but they were really good books. The second one was really intriguing because they had this whole mystery going on, and she was trying to save the aunt. So I enjoyed that series a lot. And I also read, which, again, I'm obsessed with this series. I got better pictures of this one because I knew I was going to do this. Was the Hat Shop by Jen McKinley. I read quite a few of these. The last one I read, which was... I'm so sorry, I'm not prepared for this. I didn't know I was going to do this many cozy mysteries, but I'm obsessed. I can't help it. So the last one I read was Assault in Burdette, where she goes to Paris to see her cousin's ex, she's still married to him, and they're trying to get it annulled because she just walked down on him. It was really, the cousin's like such a bird. I love her. She's so like flighty and everything, but it was such a good series. I was so happy to hear that she started writing it again this year, so it's great that the year I picked it up, she decided to continue the series. She hasn't written it in quite a few years. So I loved it so much. I read the first 5 books in the last few months, and I'm almost at they only have 7 books in the series. So Jen, you need to write more books, because I love the series. It's a lot. All her Jen McKinley's books are fabulous. And the last one I'm going to talk about series is The Mystery Bookshop. I picked this up from Kensington. It's a really nice series, but the only thing with that one is that she's an author in the book, and what she does is she's writing her book, so like it will just suddenly stop, and then we'll go to the next, we'll go into her fantasy story, and then stops, and then it goes back into the actual story. So you got 2 mysteries for the price of 1, but it was driving me crazy going back and forth. So what I did was I read it on my Nook and my Kindles. I don't know which one I had it on. I think it was on my Kindle, actually, because I think I got it on the Kindle. And it has a bookmark app on it. So you hit the bookmark part, and every time that story came out, I just bookmarked it. And then I just skipped to when she was done with the story. 'Cause it was like pages of, and I was just like, I want to know what happens in the story. I don't want to read this right now. So once I finished the book, then I went back and read all the bookmark sections in order. So it was like a second book I read. So every single book, I've read the first 2 in the series. So this was Red Herring Hunt. And the first one was called Plot is Murder. That was our book club read for, what month are we in? We're in May, so April. Oh, no, I think it was April. We read it for the Crafty Cozy Mystery Chat. Yes, that was April's that we did. I liked that series a lot. I'm definitely continuing that one. Kensington actually sent me the 8th one in that series, so I'm trying to catch up so I could read it. It's a really cute book. And I liked oh my God, the grandmothers. The grandmothers in that series are hysterical. They just run with, like, the main character is nothing. It's all about the grandmas. They take over the whole thing. They're just conniving and trying to figure out murders. It was so funny. Because all of a sudden they come in and it's just like, boom! They're hitting the group and they're just like, where are we going? What's happening? And they just take over. It was a lot of fun, that series. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to talk about Cozy Mysteries. So, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful week and a wonderful weekend, and see you next time. Bye!